Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, we had some extra news drop about the new content. Not masses, honestly, but I do want to keep you up to date as it happens. I've kind of been waiting today for this, like, the big what's next in Raid video. I feel like it's coming any moment now, and I've kind of like been just hanging on to do my Raid video to see if there was any extra juicy gossip that was coming through. But I'll share with you what I've got. I'll also go through some of the different tournaments and stuff that are active at the moment and give my view. But yeah, let's jump into it. So we have had a few posts or a few bits more information that's been dropping. So if you didn't catch it, you should go and check this out. Deadwood, so Deadwood Jedi, if you don't know, you must know Deadwood Jedi, did a stream yesterday with YST, with Nubraids, with Cold Brew, Victor Tez, and Sender. And basically, they have been given some extra info compared to what I had and some of the other content creators had with those audio snippets. Okay, so I guess I've pulled some of the big clangers out. I guess the big kind of drops of info from this out, but you should go and check out that stream as well. There's some good banter going on and some good laughs. But yeah, basically they got some extra information. Part of that extra information was about the map. So let's give you a view of the map here. It does prove that this is literally going to be a whole new section of Raid. Yeah, so at the moment, none of these areas exist in Raid at all. It's going to be, I'd imagine, like a whole new section that you go into here, you know, probably next to campaign. Maybe they'll slot it in up here somewhere. And it's been said that it will open at level 52. Now, if I think back to some of my free-to-play accounts, pretty sure Hydra opens at maybe level 40 or 45 or something like that. So it's kind of deemed as later game content. But if it opens at 52, there will have to be some scaling to it so that even people that have played the game for a few months can still get involved, because that's pretty much the sort of level you'll get to if you played for a few months. So definitely later game content, but with a kind of like scaling aspect. They've got 4 different kind of like distinct areas. So you've got Soul Cross, just zoom in a bit here. You've got Soul Cross here. You've got Dead Rise on the left, which is kind of like the Plague City. You've got Cobble Market, which is kind of, I think, going to be like the entry zone. But yeah, Cobble Market here. And then you've got Plagueholm in the bottom right, which I think is going to be where the big bad lives, or at least where the harder content is. Something interesting which Nubraids kind of talked about in the collab yesterday was, there's talked about needing 3 keys to then go against who could only be called Aeneas, or whatever his name is. Like, you need 3 keys to get there. So there's 4 different areas. Potentially, you'll be able to get a key from each. That's not a bad shout, actually. I think it's probably pretty likely to then go into like the main keep and fight the big bad bosses. Few bits of info which I gleaned from listening to that podcast, or the kind of the stream, is that it looks like the 4 different districts are all going to have some sort of content which is going to have like 25 stages. So combined, there's going to be like 100 stages of content to kind of like fill our boots with. They did clarify as well that you will not need 6-star ascended champions. Yeah, that's not what you need. So you don't need to have an actual 6-star ascended person to be able to get into the content. But it does look like there'll be something to do with ascension in the hardest part as a kind of like gatekeeper. So you probably will have to have some form of ascension to be able to get into part of the content. So I'm pretty excited for this. I think there's a lot of info we've had so far, but we're still missing kind of like some of the key nuggets. You can see, and I actually just love seeing stuff like this, like the map. There's a dragon in Soul Cross, which might or might not be relevant to what we're fighting. There's a massive whale over on the harbour here. What else can I find? I'm literally just looking for the first time. Anything else which might give us some clues as to what we're going to be up against? Very misty in Dead Rise. Don't know. There doesn't seem to be too much else in terms of visual clues other than Plagueholm, feeling like we're going to be fighting the undead or something like that. But yeah, there's definitely, I guess you've got like the shadowy figure here in Dead Rise, which could be quite cool. Something else which I think brings clarity to what I had in my video with Saf is there was kind of like this thing of duo bosses. Are we going to be facing 2 bosses together? And It looks like we will. As at least as part of the content, there's going to be some sort of game modes where we're now having to fight two of the big bads from Doom Tower, from dungeons, whatever, in some sort of content where they come at us at the same time. So the verb here is, or the verbiage is, sometimes opposites attract. Just imagine Pyro Clysis teaming up to sing you a song of ice and fire. It's actually very cool. Do your champions have what it takes to take them down? Yeah, so some people are going to say here, kind of warranted in a way, oh, Rage, you're running out of ideas, can't even bring new bosses to the game. I'm not in that camp. I think that it could be quite fun and imaginative if they do it in a good way to actually bring two different bosses of mechanics together, and you take them on. I think reutilizing content is not a terrible thing to do if it's done in an imaginative way, and yeah, makes you kind of like think about the different types of teams you need to bring and all of that type of stuff. So I actually think this is not a bad concept, especially as it is not like, that's not meant as the big final boss. Yeah, we're still going to be getting a big final boss. We're still going to be getting other content in the mix. If that's part of the content drop, then I actually don't have a problem with it personally. But I know some people have been a bit moany about it, or it's not really their cup of tea. So I guess, fair enough. It's kind of each to their own on that one. But I actually think it's not such a bad thing. So that's pretty much all of the new stuff that I know since I've done my other videos. And yeah, I'm excited to see what comes. I'm excited to see the what's next type of stuff. I guess let's have a check in game around what's going on today, because there's a bunch of different events going on. There's a bunch of different kind of like summoning things, all the norm. I'm still like at this 50-50 point of whether I think Valkanen is worthy of 100 Void Shards. I only have 50, as you can see, 51. So I would have to pick up 50. I think for me, he's probably not quite worthy. I don't know if you guys, I think he's actually better than people give him credit for, especially paired with Sun Wukong. I think that's a pretty interesting pairing. He's another one of these ones, a bit like Alil, doesn't quite hit hard enough to be crazy, but he is good. So anyone who's doing it, anyone who's just kind of like saved up a ton of Void Shards, some people do, then I don't think you're going to be getting yourself a bad hero, a bad champion, especially with some Wukong in the mix. But I don't think you're picking yourself up a top tier Void legendary. So it's an interesting one. He's definitely someone that's worthy of some playtime. But yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to be breaking into the meta, even with Sun Wukong being so kind of prevalent right now. There's also a bunch of other events that are going down. So the turn attack thing has come in for Dragon. Now, I've actually done that pretty damn quick. I didn't even realize I'd finished it. But yeah, basically, we've got the 3 times event running on Dragon for speed gear. I'd say there's almost nobody that plays the game who shouldn't be interested in getting this done. It's just an improvement to your account if you can get some double rolls, triple rolls, whatever, of speed items. So definitely should be considering this. And if you're farming it anyway, then you're going to be getting those rewards for the kind of like turn-based attack stuff. So I would say almost everybody that's playing the game, if you've got energy to spare, this is definitely somewhere where you should be throwing it, because the rewards are okay, nothing too crazy, not bad either, but it's almost like why wouldn't you do it when there's a 3 times speed thing going on? We've also got the Soul Chase going on, where you can earn some pretty damn crazy rewards, but it's expensive to do it. So it's not even so much it's expensive. You need a lot of luck to get the right type of point scoring. So even if you were pulling high level souls, it really comes down to whether you're pulling any 5-star ones. If you get any sort of 5-star or 6-star legendary, then you end up scoring a lot of points. But the majority of us will be getting more like the 2-star stuff, in which case it is so hard to get top rewards in. Not that many of us have really got mythicals to be booking out right now. But obviously in this one, this is where all the juicy rewards are. And unless you are, a Kraken or whatever, it's very expensive to get there. So I'd imagine not many people are going to be doing that. We've also got the champion training. This has been on for a few days now, but I actually think this is more like the sort of events I'd like to see. It's not actually showing me the skin properly here. But anyone could have achieved the Ronda skin. I like that. It's a lot of points, but actually champion training's pretty comfortable to do it if you want to do it. Yeah, so I did with 2 days to go, I could notch up 12,500 points pretty fast and actually get myself this skin and a legendary tome. And I probably will do that today, in fact. And on the other side, you've also got the souls for like the top few rewards. Again, you probably would have needed to be in the mix already, but I don't really care about the left-hand side here. It's more about, is it worth, at minimum, going for 10,000 points or a legendary tome? That's extremely good compared to normal for this type of event. So I'd say that's actually a pretty good one. And then I think that's about it in terms of stuff or stuff that's going on in the game. So let me know what you think about the kind of like content drop. Do you like the way they're teasing it out in these different stages? Or would you rather just get the big bam of the what's next video? And yeah, is anyone going for Valken? Let me know. I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you soon.